Hello, and welcome back to the Authentic Creative, expanding our capacity to feel good. I'm really delighted because today on the Authentic Creative, we have Rachel Blumberg, founder and CEO of PLATEFIT, a boutique fitness movement that's revolutionized how we engage with our bodies through vibration training. And I want to get into what that actually means. So, Rachel is a lifelong athlete, a former Division One water polo player, and a passionate entrepreneur who discovered the transformative power of power plate technology and knew she had to share it. Since launching PlateFit in West Hollywood in 2016, she expanded across LA and built a devoted wellness community rooted in energy, innovation, and empowerment. What I love about Rachel is her grounded presence. She's a devoted mother and a leader who brings heart, balance, and authenticity to everything she does. We're going to dive into her story and the magic behind PlateFit and what it really means to move from passion to purpose. So, we were just chatting before I hit record about sleep patterns and when we wake up and what our rituals are. And it was such a wonderful conversation because I was saying that I'm so impressed with you, Rachel, that you get up. You messaged me at I think 4:45 a.m. this morning, and I happened to be awake, which I'm not normally, but you are normally awake then, and you were telling me about sort of the magic of that particular time of day, and I just thought, oh, maybe we should start there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a meditation practice, as do many, but my meditation practice is a daily practice, and sometimes it's twice a day. I've been doing it for the last 16 years, so it's had many different forms. And what works for me, what I've found that works for me now, is just a very early wake up, and I like to sit before I feel like everybody gets going.
Yeah. I'm
So
curious because I know certain people that wake up early have a whole nighttime routine too that winds them down. So I'm curious, do you get to bed? Are you in bed at 9? Or like,
I'm in bed around 9:30. Yes.
yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Good for
I
you.
but it's really just my rhythm. There are people that I feel like just are naturally they stay awake at night longer,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they find their meditation when they wake up. But for me, I just have always been an early riser. I think playing sports and playing a lot of
Yes.
sport, it's funny because I was speaking about this today in my classes um, that because I played a water sport and the the what we would practice at 6 a.m.
Okay.
So all throughout high school and then even college, I was getting up very, very early. And so the rhythm of me with my body just waking up and going, you know, is is pretty natural to me. And then I'm not a night owl. I've never been a night owl. I love my sleep. I love to go to bed early. And my two beautiful kids actually somehow managed to wiggle their way into my bed
Hmm.
when they were babies. I did not plan to be a co-sleeper at all, and it's just what happened. And so I usually fall asleep when they fall asleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy to do that. It's easy to get into that rhythm of just falling asleep when they fall asleep. I was always a theater kid and an actor, and so I didn't do the early wake ups unless I had occasionally like a set call. And I
Mhm.
actually lived in West Hollywood, I think, during the time that you started PlateFit. So I'm curious, what is this technology? What does it mean? How does it work? Why are you so passionate about it?
So I was introduced to vibration training when I was 27. I was working for MySpace, and
Oh, wow.
I know, totally different field. But I was also saying this today, that I've always been a teacher of some sort. Like I
Yeah.
taught my dolls, I taught imaginary friends, I taught. And then started playing water polo and I taught swimming and then I taught water polo and I coached high school teams. And
Oh, wow.
I've just always been a coach of some sort and very into physical fitness. And all throughout college, I was on a water polo team, and so I played collegiately, and so I moved my body, and I trained all around the world and trained in many
Wow.
different facilities. And so after college, I got a real quote unquote real job, and I would train in the mornings just for fun. So I would teach exercise classes because I just wanted to stay a part of like teaching. And at 27, I went to a gym, and this vibration plate was in the corner, and had never seen it before, and I felt like I had seen all the equipment. And the woman said, "Oh, it's just kind of like the coat hat, the coat rack of the gym." And there was like
Mm.
yoga mats and weights on it. And so I like went over and pulled all the stuff off, and I jumped on it, and I pushed, the start button, and it literally changed my life in 30 seconds. And I felt the healing power of vibration. Intuitively, I felt it in my joints and my bones and my brain and my heart. Like I just felt like I was like, wow, that was whatever this thing is, I need to know more about it. And
Amazing.
I say this a lot, but it like in 30 seconds, it like changed the course of my life because I became obsessed with vibration. I needed to know everything there was about vibration, and I did research, and I kept going back every single day to this gym. Like I wanted to be on it. And
Your body was calling you back to that particular vibration. And does it have different vibration settings or is it just one? Oh, it does. Okay.
it has different vibration settings. It's called a power plate, which I also think is very interesting because, we're plugging into power. We have access to power if we're in tune, and we're, which is like, the power of frequency and whatever it is. And I just was like, there's something really magical about this machine. And I found out that it was a medical device, and that athletes were using it. All pro athletic teams were using it in the United States, and doctors were using it, and people with autoimmune issues were using it. And
Oh,
UCLA had 14 of them at their MS department because it's really good for MS and Parkinson's and lupus,
wow.
arthritis. And I was like, why don't more people know about this machine? And they were
Yeah.
like, we retailed for like 10 to 15,000 depending on the machine. And that was like, why? Because they were very expensive. The company itself wasn't really marketing it to, as a workout. Like they wanted to sell the machine. And so I had this idea that I wanted to start a power plate studio.
How does the technology work? Like, what is it actually doing? Is it repairing the cells? Is it disrupting them and then repairing them? Like your own body starts, like what is the science of it?
So it's moving, the plate is moving front to back, right to left, and up and down,
Okay.
also vibrating.
Hmm.
So there's doing those three things with the movement of the plate. It's destabilizing your body.
Okay.
With the destabilization, it forces muscle contractions
Hmm.
30 to 50 times a second,
Hmm.
which is a lot of contractions.
So do you ever play I Feel the Earth Move Under My Feet, Carole King song? I mean
So
it's like
it's like an
forcing you to
intensified.
find your
Yeah.
balance.
But it's such a small movement. You can't see the movement. It's like,
Okay.
and it's harmonic vibration. So it's harmonic movement.
Okay.
The body isn't, it's not like you're like, some of these plates
It's
that are,
not like jostling.
it's not
Yeah.
just,
It's more like a hum.
yeah. So people, the vibrating plates, like TikTok, there's a whole craze on vibration plates right now. And like, they're $200 and they're not backed by research.
Hmm.
Just totally fine. I don't know if they're harmful, if they're not harmful.
Hmm.
I love the power plate because they're backed by research. They have studies. They know what works. They're like nothing really works over a 50 vibration. Like they're not throwing people on, at vibrations that they shouldn't be on. Like they're testing it, um and they have a lot of medical research, which was really intriguing to me. And it was also really intriguing that athletes were using it because I was an athlete, and it just felt like a secret. And
Mm.
I wanted to bring the secret to everybody else. Like I felt after 6 sessions that I was like stronger. I felt more connected internally. I was like, there's something really beautiful about this. And I knew that we're vibrational beings, and like working out on vibration is incredible. This was, 20 years ago. So, the woo woo of 20 years ago it was not as accepted as it is now. And
Yeah.
what I did was I just took this beautiful machine and then I created a method, and I worked on that method for 9 years.
And that's called PlateFit?
It's called PlateFit. Yeah. No, no, no. This was before PlateFit. So
Okay.
I ended up quitting my job at MySpace.
Hmm.
Everybody told me I was crazy, and I think I was, which is, I think sometimes when you have to start something new, like you need to, like your brain is a little crazy, like it's thinking in a good way, you know,
Yeah.
it's thinking like a vision, it's thinking like I need to go get it. And so I went after it and I called PowerPlate and I asked them who had these machines, and they sent me up to a house in Malibu. And that was my second client. And I walked into this beautiful mansion in Malibu, and I walked down to this gorgeous workout space. And then 10 minutes later, Cher walked in. She was my second client. And
No.
yeah, and we became very, very good friends. I trained her every single day, and she was like obsessed with the power plate. And she was like, "Let's do
Wow.
this." So we opened Studio C when I was 27. Um,
Amazing.
Later, and it had 14 plates in it. And then she got her show in Vegas. And then she was like, I don't want to do the studio anymore. So we closed it down. She gifted me 5 plates for like $1,000, which was like nothing. So
Yeah.
kind. She's such a wonderful human being. And then I found a little gym in West Hollywood, and I rented a space. It was $600, and I put up a mirror and a book.
Where in West Hollywood? I'm so curious because I used to live there for years.
Yeah, La Cienega and Melrose.
Okay.
So it was where Train. Do you remember Train, the studio? It was the old bank. There
No.
was a cycling studio that was there for a while.
Okay.
Anyways, it was right there. Now it's something different, but it was a bank.
I
And
was near the Guitar Center in like Aroma Cafe.
okay,
Yeah.
they turned this bank into a gym, and I rented space there, and I was there for 8 years. And
Wow.
it was just me. It was called Rachel Blumberg, and I had the Center for Early Education, which was a school that was across the street, and the moms from the school would come over and take my class. And I just developed a method over the years. And
Yeah.
I met my husband, and he was like, what you're doing is much bigger than the corner of this gym. And he builds things for a living. He's chief development officer for Erewhon Markets. And so
Oh,
he
wow.
so he builds, like, he creates spaces and he gets the spaces, and he was like, I'll build you a little space and let's see how it goes. And so then we launched PlateFit in January in the West Hollywood location near
Hmm.
you,
Hmm.
in January 11th, 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that
now you're not there, right?
now we're not there, the pandemic. So we grew PlateFit from that one studio to 5 studios. We opened our 5th studio.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this has got to be, you got a franchise, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we opened 2016. We opened our second. That was January and August of 2016 in Brentwood. And then we opened Studio City 8 months after that. And then we waited for a while, and then we opened Hollywood, which was on Sycamore, in October 2019, and then Venice, January 2020.
And so they're all doing really well and you
Well,
love it. And no, you closed some of them down.
I closed some, yeah. So
Okay.
it's been an interesting journey to be working.
COVID, man. Yeah. We left Hollywood. We left during COVID.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything shut down. Fitness. I mean, I have an actual physical device that you need in order to do my workout. So doing online workouts wasn't,
Yep.
the easy adjustment. And we hadn't really sold enough plates, and not that many people knew about. I mean, people knew, and it was just starting to take off. But anyways, we were closed for a good 3 years, and as a result, we had to close 3 studios.
Mm, mm.
And so we closed the 3 studios. I have Venice and Brentwood right now, and
Okay.
I'm super happy with the two.
Amazing. And then you also host events occasionally, right? Because you hosted Kathy Heller's event, which is
Yeah.
how I kind of became aware of you. And
Okay. I love
yeah,
Kathy Heller. Yeah, she's a very good friend of mine.
yeah.
We do
So,
events. We do. I mean, we do so much here. Yeah, It's
Yeah.
a beautiful community. Like the vibration community is a beautiful community, and I'm just starting to expand it more into like a lot of mindset stuff for people.
Yeah,
And
that was my next question. I was gonna
yeah,
say, like, what is your kind of overarching mission that, because it seems like you're starting to expand. Yeah, but go ahead, you were saying.
yeah. So as we evolve as human beings, I think we have to evolve our businesses. Um,
Yep.
and I've been telling the story has been up, up for me right now, but I've been just telling a lot of people that I've been doing this for 19 years. It's a lot to be doing one thing for
Yeah.
19 years.
Yeah.
And I feel really expanded as a human being, because of the spiritual journey that I've been on and the deep self work that I've been doing.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, I really went into, a downward spiral. I went
Mm.
from being able to make money to not being able to make money. And
Yeah.
for somebody that's been self-supporting for her entire life, that was a really difficult thing. And thank God I have a beautiful husband and we were able, like everything was fine. I think just internally there was an unwinding of the old. And so I really dove into, mindset work and spiritual work and started meditating and going to meditation retreats. And, I kind of feel like I was like in hiding, spiritual hiding for a while, like I was doing this
Mm-hmm.
and that was also my life. And both of them
Mm-hmm.
were really beautiful and I love them both. But I woke up about a year ago and I was just like, you know what, I need to be me in all of the things that I do.
Yeah, you bridged that gap and integrated it, and now it's like part of what you're doing at PlateFit.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
it's interesting. I've personally been coaching some people in our community and then hosting events around vibration and raising your vibration. And
I
yeah,
love it.
it's just, and the journey continues. So a lot of people are like, I feel like sometimes it's like, we're building and we feel the need, we have to like build and we have to make it something. And
Mm.
I think I'm done with that phase in my life. Like plate fit was like a very masculine, like I just did it and I did it and I did it hard and I worked a lot and I lost sleep and I missed things. And like,
Mm.
I just am leaned back in my life right now. I'm leaning back. I feel like I want to take deep breaths. I don't want to push things. I want things to unfold. I really love living in the unknown.
Mm.
I
Wow. Oh, Rachel, just what you just said, I really love living in the unknown. That's a paradigm shift.
Yes.
Because I want to think that I love living in the unknown,
Yeah.
but my nervous system's like, fuck no.
And
So tell me more about that.
I think because my nervous system, I realized, my nervous system was so out of whack and my
Yeah.
nervous system was in fight or flight a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I had the language that made me feel like I was okay,
Yeah.
but my body felt differently and it
Yes.
worked differently and I behaved differently and I navigated the world differently. And I just was like, I am going to heal my nervous system.
Mhm.
I'm going to do everything I need to do in order to heal my nervous system. And the more I heal my nervous system, the more I find that the unknown is the place of healing, like yoga nidra.
Oh, I love it. Yes, no, yoga nidra. I want to hear about that because I had one of my coaching clients was really into that because she had insomnia. And so she was doing yoga nidra before bed. So how did you find it? What has it done for you? What's
I found a lot of different things. So I started, meditation's always been in my life, but I just started to expand my awareness of like what's out there and who's out there and what are people doing. And I got really, really into Joe Dispenza,
Mm-hmm.
to like 8 of his retreats.
Oh, wow.
I loved the expansiveness of his retreats, and I really felt like I felt a lot of healing from that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so many people love his retreats.
I mean, he's amazing, and he's doing really good work in the world. And
Yeah.
you're very expanded though at the retreats, and so when you come back, there's a massive contraction. And so learning to deal with all of this, like it's not a quick fix, and so you have to learn to really integrate the stuff that you're doing. And so
Yes. Yes.
um I just did a search on non-sleep deep rest on YouTube, and I found this
Okay.
called Ali Boothroyd, and her voice really resonated with me. And I was like, I'm just this is what I do in my life. I'm like, I'm just gonna try it out. Like so
Yeah.
all these, I'm gonna try this Joe Dispenza thing, even though his voice really annoyed me in the beginning. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna give myself
Thank you
30
for
days.
saying that.
I mean, everybody is like, who
Because
is
that's
this
been like
quack?
a block for me.
Yeah, who is this quack? Why is he's like, why is it, the vibration and the I mean, he's a lot, but the sometimes when I come up against things that I'm like have a real
Mm-hmm.
no to, and I also know underneath that is like growth, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it even though it's hard.
Yeah.
And so was the same thing with the yoga nidra thing. I was like really hesitant to lay down and meditate.
Right.
It was like you have to sit up. You have to sit up straight. You have to have a mantra. It has to be set. It's like all these ideas about what it was supposed to be. And what I didn't realize is it was the most ancient practice of meditation. And like yoga is getting into shavasana. And Joe Dispenza is getting you ready to lay down at the end. Like all of these meditations are really practiced for laying
I
down.
love that you're talking about laying down because that's how I facilitate breath work. And other facilitators facilitate with you sitting up. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, that's
Oh, this is the best
fine. But
part. Getting
oh
the
my
body.
gosh, I
Yeah.
need to lay down if I'm going to do this.
Yeah. So you're getting the body prepared to receive.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way that I've healed my nervous system is laying down and doing nothing and receiving, learning to listen to the prompts in Yoga Nidra has given me, I mean, the act of receiving just the words and like really staying with that meditation has gotten me deeper than anything in the world. I mean, I just realized that I really love that state of not knowing where I'm going to go. And practicing that and bringing that out into the world is like, when we're tightly wound and we have the answers and we have to figure it out. It's just a really uncomfortable way to live.
Yep.
And it feels more uncomfortable to not know, but it truly is magical to not know.
Yes.
But
Everything we really truly want is in the unknown.
yes,
All the
yeah,
magic, all the miracles.
yeah.
Yeah, and all the
Well,
predictable
yeah,
things that we're trying to predict, it's all kind of ego and control
yeah.
and it's all the manifestation is in the surrender. So I love it. Yeah. So you're also a mom,
I'm a mom. I love
and
being.
how's that going?
It's good. I mean, love. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest gifts of my whole entire life, and I love that I get. I've wanted to be a mom my whole entire life, and I get the opportunity to be really a part of their life right now. And so COVID, like all of it's like the unknown, right? It's like I fought it, but truly, shutting down the three businesses
Hmm.
and slowing down
Hmm.
enabled me to step more into motherhood, step
Yeah.
more into being like a really good wife. Like
Oh,
it really like it healed my relationship. It healed like it's like, sometimes we're like we're so fast forward, we're so leaned forward that like
yes.
and we think we can do it. I thought I could do it all, and I just and I can. But I don't do it all well, and I love
Mm,
and
hmm.
I love being a parent, and I love dropping them off, and I love picking them up and going to their games and being a part of their life, and I truly enjoy that, and it's such a small period of time,
Right.
and
Yes. Yes.
yeah. So I
Like the days are long, but the years are short, and it does go by fast, and you look back and you're like, how did that happen?
do you have kids?
I have two, and we've been in Camas, Washington for 5 years since the beginning of COVID, and I feel like we've been here for 2 years. Like
Wow.
it's just flown by, and now my oldest is almost as tall as I am.
Wow.
And it's just like, what is happening? Like he'll be 12 in like a week. It's like almost a teenager basically. It's just it go and I remember the early days where it was like so boring sometimes because it would just be, when they were nonverbal and you would just be
Yeah.
sat at home and I'd be nursing and it'd be like, oh my God, could I just like be out in the world and And it does. And like I relate to the COVID thing because we were homeschooling or I was homeschooling, and it was an opportunity to like slow down and be with them and focus on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherhood's really, it's an interesting thing. It when you pay attention enough to know that it is short, and you really look at the picture of how long motherhood is, it's such a short amount. I mean, you're always their mother, but they leave and they grow
Yeah.
up and so
Don't make me cry,
no,
Rachel.
but it breaks your heart open. It breaks
Yes.
your heart open. And it is so painful and it's so beautiful all at the same time. Like it's like grief meets the love. It's like, and it's all the time when you can, it's grief and it's love. It's grief and it's love. It's grief.
Just like Inside Out.
Oh,
We've been
it's,
rewatching Pixar movies.
yeah. And it's a beautiful, and the surrender and the letting go and like really letting them go. And, but
How old
also
are yours?
7 and 8.
Okay, so they're younger. So you're just like
Younger, but
talking about like in the future, the letting go.
yeah, but it's also even now, it's like you're still letting them, they're growing up,
Yeah.
and they're not young. And like that is when you're awake enough to to truly embrace what's happening and the process of being a mother, it is the most beautiful, heart-wrenching experience of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, and thank you, and oh, and thank you. And I'm just so grateful for the experience. And it's like a train and it just keeps moving forward and like there's nothing you can do. And it's such a blessing to be their mom. It really is such a blessing to be their mother, and I'm grateful for the experience.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's beautiful hearing you talk about that. So let's look here. I haven't even looked at any of my questions. Okay, so let me ask you, what does being an authentic creative, because that's the name of our podcast here, and expanding our capacity to feel good is our tagline. So what does it mean to be an authentic creative to you? In the way that you lead, in the way that you create, in the way that you live. And then maybe we can end with expanding our capacity to feel good.
Yeah. So it's meant different things at different times in my life. And I think um, the older I get, the more me I want to be. And the more me I am, the more I attract the people that I'm supposed to be attracting. And I really, I really am loving the woman that I'm stepping into at this stage in my life. And I was thinking this morning in my meditation, like, there's a lot of grief of letting go of the old. It's like I'm going to be 46 this year, and I've made some life choices that are, I stopped drinking alcohol. I'm making some decisions to just live in a more conscious way, which just feels in more alignment with me.
Yeah,
And there's a falling away of the old and
yeah.
friendships and relationships and working relationships,
They're vibrating out.
vibrating out old studios. Like it's just this, like, and also like a real, I think it's a lot of it takes a lot of strength to really step in to yourself and to say, like, this is who I want to be and this is
Amen.
how I want to live, and also like really allow others to be in their authentic self and their authentic truth,
Yeah.
and just to keep living and just to keep in my lane, and to also
Mm.
just be in service. Like I really value being in purpose.
Yeah.
I think a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety that can come out of non-purpose.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be. I think society now wants us to have these like huge transformative, like we need to change the world. And like I
It's a
think
lot
purpose
of pressure.
is a lot of pressure. And I think purpose for me is just like, how can I just be kind to everyone I meet during the day?
That's
And how
good.
can I brighten somebody's day, and then to watch what unfolds as a result of that.
Very simple.
Very simple.
I feel like that's so much of what we need is just this kind of simplicity that you're talking about. It's like be more me,
Yeah.
be in my purpose, wake up early and meditate,
Yeah. And and find
and be
out
in the unknown.
yeah, and find out who you are by sitting. So I often ask most people that come to me and are having any sort of issue, I'm always asking them, like, what is your practice in the morning? Are you taking time to connect inward before you connect outward? And I think it's really difficult to slow down and to close your eyes and to connect because we're so outward and so we don't even know who we are.
Hmm.
We think we're everything outside of it, and really the truth and is so deep within. And I think you reposted this, but I saw this thing on Instagram the other day that, like, authenticity is 4,000 times more powerful than love.
Right. Hmm.
I mean, it's so true. And when I'm
Yeah.
in the presence of somebody who's authentically them, it's so attractive to be around them.
Yeah. So it's interesting because what, that's obviously in the title here. And so I like to explore, and because you're talking more about it, it's like, what is that? What is, like, we just say it's me. Like, for me, Siri, when I feel my most authentic is I feel expansive. I feel free. I feel I'm breathing deep in my belly. I'm in my body. I'm not in my head. Like, what is that authentic feeling for you?
It's similar. It's similar in nature to that. Yes, I'm feeling in flow. I'm feeling
Yeah,
connection. I'm feeling purposeful. I feel, but also I think it's important to note that, authentically, we also feel the other vibrations as well. And
right.
that, I'm actually grieving. Like I didn't understand. I've been leading these reflection circles and also been a student of these reflection circles, which is another form of listening,
Hmm.
which is, I'm really learning that the art of listening is like a deep, incredible practice. It's taught me how to listen deeper within the more I learn to listen to others. And I was in that circle and I just like broke out in tears. And there's a deep grief, but it's not like a sadness. It's like just because I'm moving out of, like, I'm no longer going to be a mother. Like I'm not going to have any more babies. Like I'm like, there's this like I'm older. I'm not I'm not 40 anymore. I'm not 35 anymore. I'm going to be 50 soon. My husband's 50. Like I'm
I'm like hard swallow because I'm older than you. I'm like, ah,
right, but
don't
that's the
say
thing. But
it.
there's like there is, but there's also an embrace. There's a grieving of that, and
Yeah,
there's a stepping in, and that
yeah.
process of authenticity, of really owning that. I'm like, I'm in grief about losing the youngness
Hmm.
of of life, and stepping into like the later. And not that I have to be this like elder, but it's just like, you know I think authenticity is really looking at the humanness as a whole, and like being honest
Yeah.
and sharing that honesty with other people. And when I share that, like, I connect, and my group comes and my people come, and that's also painful because that's shifted and changed massively. When I chose to stop drinking,
Hmm.
I mean, my world shifted in a massive way, and I didn't realize that it would. But
Okay.
when I chose a different lifestyle, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, everything.
It does, it's like sliding door moments, but then over time you're like, oh wow, this is a whole different
It's amazing. It's the
community
best decision I've
because
ever made. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And so expanding our capacity to feel good does not negate the shadow work or the grieving. To me, actually, and I've never said this on the podcast before, but feeling good is what we're talking about. It's not feeling happy all the time, right? Feeling
Right.
good to me is the catharsis of feeling all of it and having space to feel all of it and acceptance of all of it. Like
Yeah.
it can, that it has to, it must, it does coexist.
I think it's interesting. The question that I was looking at this morning, it makes me want to cry, is like, there's so many things, especially when we get into this world, there's so many healing that we do to feel good.
Yeah.
And I've been doing to feel good
Yeah.
instead of allowing myself to feel what is. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
it's that emotion. And in my, without consciously knowing that I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm gonna, change my mindset. I'm gonna do my mantras. I'm gonna call somebody and help them, like, but to fix it
Yep.
instead of allow it.
Yep.
And like I'm gonna keep fixing it until I let it be what it's supposed to be and allow it to move through,
Yes.
and so um yeah, so the feeling good is not always feeling good, but it will get you through to feel good. And
Yeah. It feels really like one of my favorite feelings is crying.
yeah,
That's one of my favorite feel good
actually,
feelings.
I'm like, I'm for some reason the faucet's on, and I'm not really a crier. I wish I cried more, and so it's coming.
Yay.
Yeah, I cried. I was crying this morning listening to some song about somebody losing their mother, and my mother's alive, but I was just like thinking about, like, she's getting like, it's on, which is a good thing. So
Yeah. Your heart's open.
my heart's open. Yes.
You're such a blessing. Oh my gosh. Rachel, thank you so much. I didn't even ask you where you grew up.
I grew up in Northern California, um,
Okay.
yeah, in the Bay Area.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. My parents actually still live up in the Northern California, Brentwood.
Okay.
It's a farm town up there. My sister and my brother live there. And then I actually live in the Brentwood in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So,
I used to live right on the border of Brentwood for years when I was like 19 until like on and off until I was 30. I was on Santa Monica. I was in Santa Monica on 25th and Margarita.
oh, amazing. It's
Um,
great. I love the West Side's amazing. It works for us and we love it. But we also have plans to travel with, I want to take the kids to Spain for a year or two.
love it.
Yeah. And just do something completely different than
Love it.
in the system.
Yeah, so are you studying Spanish?
Well, my husband he's fluent in Spanish. My kids are
Good.
fluent in Spanish, and
Oh,
I can get by.
and you're trying to catch up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
because
catch up
they're
to my
going
husband with
fluent.
Italian. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And so he speaks fluent Italian.
Not yet. He's learning. He's British. He
Okay.
speaks fluent British,
Oh, okay.
which it's a different language. It's like people
It is.
it's
You're like, what?
it's very deceiving. We think we speak the same language, but we really don't. Yeah. That's exciting. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you for asking
you
me.
are like incredibly authentic to me.
Thank you.
Obviously, I'm just meeting you, and there's nothing but you.
Thank you.
I can see your aura. You're just beaming. You're glowing. Obviously, the yoga nidra, the plate fit, the vibrations,
Yeah.
the listening, the reflection circles, all the Joe Dispenza work, like it's all present and I see it and I feel it and it's a healing energy. And I thank you for that, putting that in the world and the way that you're lifting up others with your work and your purpose, because you're clearly in your purpose and you've been in your purpose for a while, but you're like stepping even more deeply
Yeah.
into the unknown of your purpose, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you for having such an open, soft, sweet soul that it was just such a I mean, I feel like it was just like a breath of fresh air to talk to you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for asking me. It's so nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So, guys that are listening in on our conversation, I forgot you're even there. Uh, please keep expanding your capacity to feel good. If you want to get into Rachel's world, obviously you can go check out PlateFit. Obviously, she's hosting events.
Mhm.
Are there, do you want them to find you on Instagram, on your website, or both?
They can find me. They can also find my personal page on Instagram. It's Rachel Blumberg Chiproot. But they can find me through Plate Fit also on Instagram. And then
Okay.
everything is connected there.
So I'll put those in the show notes.
Okay, perfect.
And thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And let's have our call to action be to listen a little deeper within, get quiet enough to listen to what our authentic truth really is.
Love
Thank
that.
you guys, and
Thank
we'll see you
you.
next time.